All right, Ken. It's
Time to
Wednesday.
bounce.
Let's bounce. See you in a few.
Yes.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy far. The Falcon's ready, let's raise the bar. Hey! Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy.
All right, Ken, we're back.
We needed an inflatable falcon.
I know. It was on sale, but I got to rework the price and stuff like that. But happy Wednesday, Ken.
Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. Great to see you.
Yeah, I was just hoping that we had our Falcon by 2026, but as with flying cars, neither are in our driveways right now. Plus, I think one of us would have to buy a pickup truck if we did get the inflatable Falcon. Because if I remember correctly, the weight would not pass the weight limit of any of my cars.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to fit it in a Kia Soul.
Yeah, probably not. So, and my car slows down if I have 4 people in it. So, I don't think we would do. So, anyway, Ken, where can we find you before we get started?
Well, every so often you can find me on The Rambling Star Wars Fan. Once a month or so, you can find me bounty hunting across the galaxy with Todd and Ken, and occasionally around the Jarek table on Banthamilk Podcast with Robert, Thomas, and David. How about you? Because you've been a busy man.
I have been. So you can find me here, Inflatable Falcon, every Wednesday, unless some reason I forget it's Wednesday. Then we have one Thursday recording, I think. and helping Zoe out with Star Wars Geek Girl, which I think she just got. Okay, I got an email from now. Again, it could just be an app that is trying to get my money, but or get me to download it. But there was an app called, of course, like Good Pods. Have you ever heard of it?
Nope.
Okay, well, according to Good Pods, Star Wars Geek Girl was the 66th podcast on their app in the
Nice.
science fiction section. So
Very cool.
I don't know any more than that, but I will check into Good Pods. If they
Couldn't have
give me
been
an
any more appropriate for a Star Wars podcast.
Right. So, 66. That's like the best number. You don't want any more. I mean, I still want to, what was Order 65, but, and then I've
Kung Pao
started,
chicken?
huh? What?
Was it Kung Pao chicken for lunch?
I could be.
I'd like a number 65, please.
Yeah. I remember the day. I mean, people still do it when they would post on social media the picture of Order 66, like wherever they were eating. Like you just,
They still do it.
I know. And I always love that for two reasons. It's neat to see Order 66, but then sometimes it's like you get to see what people are eating, and sometimes you're like, wait a minute, what?
Well, and because
You got 16 donuts?
Yeah, let's think this through. What places are giving out receipts with an order number on it?
Yeah, that's true.
It's not as if, I don't know. I'm going to pick a random high-end, I don't know. Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse probably doesn't have an order number system or whatever.
I wish when I got my, I did eat at Gordon Ramsay's hamburger place in London. I got like their vegan hamburger or something like that. And it had an order number on it, like, on the bottom.
Oh, really?
But I wish it was 66. Like that would have been like the perfect, that was like it cost almost 20 pounds in British money. So that burger cost me close to $30.
All right. So here's a what if question. What if you order it? It doesn't matter what the place is.
Yeah.
And you get order 65. What do you do?
Oh, you're running back up and ordering some fries.
just ordering something. It doesn't matter what it is. So you can take the picture and share it on social media.
My dream in my head when people started posting that, I always pictured like a minivan pull up and the Jedi is driving and there's a bunch of he's stopping to get McDonald's for all the clones. And they get the order and he hands it to the passenger and the guy sees order 66 and you just see the Jedi get blasted like right at the drive-through window. We lost your camera, Ken.
Oh, goodness.
Technical difficulties. But then on top of all, on my sidetrack of order 66, which I don't even know how we got stuck on that. I am working to get the 501st cast up and running with some fellow 501st members. I think all of them wanted it too, and I just came in and was the catalyst, or the person that just wouldn't take no for an answer, or the person that just kept going. But the 501st cast, the January 5th episode is up on 501stcast.com. So we're still rambling about saying our hellos, Anthony. So
you didn't really miss much.
You didn't miss much. But Anthony's a 501st member, so he will know that I restarted the 501st cast, the official podcast of the 501st Legion. So our first episode is up, 501stcast.com or wherever you go to get your podcasts. If you have to be careful, because I think the old feed, the problem we're having is because everyone lost all the passwords to a lot of the old ones. I can't get the old feed shut off. So, but we have the new one coming up, and thanks to Ken's ingenious sloganing, we're doing the 501st cast on the 5th.
Nice.
Try to release the 5th of every month at 11:38 a.m.
Interesting.
So,
very cool.
So, and any members, we're going to try, how we're going to try to get members to do like in the previous version, they would have famous people say, hey, you're listening to the 501st cast. And we have a bunch of those bumpers. We're going to try to get members from all around the world to do it. So anyone that's a member of the 501st, they can say, hey, this is so-and-so from, give us a little blurb and you're listening to 501st Cast. I'd love to just include as many members as possible. It's kind of reinvigorated my wanting to troop more.
Well, another thing that you could do related to that, in an effort to double the participation, if they submit 2 audio clips or they say 2 things. This is so and so from wherever you're listening to the 501st Cast.
Yeah.
Or this is so and so from wherever you just listened to the 50. So now
you got to join just so you can be one of our guys. You got to get approved. Yeah, I love the old episodes too, Anthony. I love the old episodes, but the problem was no one saved most of them. So I have about a year's worth of the old ones that one of the previous hosts give me. And the other thing is most of the old ones don't pass the trademark and copyright stuff. So because I put some on our feed when we were just trying to get the feed up and running. And because I think some people think, well, I can use so many seconds of a song and I think that was one of those unwritten rules because no one could really check, and so they do the old ones do the Fallen Legionnaires, and they list the names of people who have passed and stuff like that. And they, even speaking over it with that music, we were getting hit with copyright and stuff like that, which normally I wouldn't mind because we're not doing it for money. But the problem is in some countries, it's even stricter. And so it shuts the feed off in other countries. And since we have 501st members all around the world, I don't want any of the episodes cut off so members can't hear. Yeah, Marcus was a wonderful person. And I think that's why we're trying to bring it back and honor all those people that came before us, but also honor the new membership too. And and then I'll get off my 501st soapbox at the moment. The 501st is trying to get more people engaged in actually being in the 501st. And I just felt as a member, this is one of those things I can do to just, take some of the expertise that Ken and I have honed over our pod. I never think of me as a podcaster. I don't know about you, Ken, but I don't think of myself as a podcaster. And I realized, man, me and Ken have more episodes between us than most people that consider them, that have a podcaster on their business card. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start embracing my podcasting stuff. So that's where you'll find me. And I hope this brings a Creedicast too. Yeah. Well, thanks, Anthony. And troop on, man. Troop on. So, Ken, we talked about our wishes for next year, and I was looking.
But now it's wishes for this year.
I mean, this year. Yeah, it's 20. I keep forgetting it's 20. I think I wrote 2025 on like every other kid's past today.
I just posted my first Facebook post of the year, and I put the wrong year in it, so I had to go back and
yeah,
because I'm that kind of special.
Yeah. I think the co-hosts of the 501st Cast, a few of them, they're probably annoyed by me in the sense that I sometimes when I'm typing things, you think you would type them uniformly, like I'm typing a heading, and one time the date's first, and then the next time the date's second. They're like, "Hey, we should probably," and as nice as they could possibly can, which was really nice. They said, "Hey, we should probably come up with a uniform way of doing show titles." I was like, "Yeah, I know you're right." I said, "That's just my brain. I just get." Like hyper and just start typing, and you probably notice when our show loads up, sometimes it's like in the middle of the night and I'll wake up. Hey, I didn't load our show up yet. It'll be a random day of the week. And I'll just run into the office and load up the show. So that's just my brain is that way.
Yeah. We got 82 episodes behind us, or 81 episodes behind us. So,
yeah. Well, I appreciate
those little nuggets.
I appreciate that. Anthony. And honestly, it wouldn't have happened without the other gentlemen that are helping me out we have 1, 2, 3, 4, including me. We have 5 people, but we have 4 garrisons represented. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited. And I'm excited to help me learn and make this podcast bigger. I mean, that is a 2026 goal for this podcast. I was looking yesterday at, not that we need merch, but somewhere that could make us merch. Not that we could make any money off of, but it would be cheap enough that people wouldn't mind buying it. You know, so I was looking.
Well, and there's truly no end to the creative possibilities of it. And I don't know about you, but when I'm out and about in public, I check out people's Star Wars t-shirts. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't even count the number of times that Heather and I have been somewhere and somebody has made some sort of comment about my Star Wars t-shirt.
yeah.
You know, so I don't know, it's like when people drive Jeeps and they do the 2-finger wave to each other.
Yep.
You know, Star Wars fans will respect another Star Wars fans t-shirt.
Well, you know, that's a thought. You know how the Jeep people put rubber ducks on your car? Like my wife has a Jeep Renegade, which is not like for Jeep people, I think they're like not really Jeeps. Like you have to have that like Jeep looking Jeep, but we're like the Jeep light people. But she's occasionally got a little duck on her thing. I think probably from a new Jeep owner that doesn't understand you're not supposed to do it to that kind of Jeep. But maybe we need a Star Wars something like that. When you see a bumper sticker on a Star Wars car and you can put something on the front of their car.
A little helmet.
Yeah, a little helmet or a Darth Vader or something like that. So yeah. I don't know. I'm excited about 2026 when it comes to Star Wars. I was looking through the news because I was thinking, we should do some news today, and I feel like most of the Star Wars news I've read in the last 3 or 4 days, I can't report. That I can't 100% report that it's fact, if that makes any.
Oh, it's more rumors because the stuff that's being reported, while it's a little different than what's been reported before that, it's still just, at this point, rumors and hearsay.
Right. I feel like they've taken 1 or 2 articles from the entire whenever all that stuff came out. I don't want to even say it because I don't want to be part of that. But they said it, and then I feel like just someone else is just respinning old news that everyone knew, but they're just kind of making. So yeah. So I was like, I don't think we'll just take a rest on Star Wars news today. But I
can say that we're getting even closer to the Mandalorian and Grogu coming out.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. I think you were saying about the merch? You couldn't wait for the merch?
Yeah, because I'm very curious to see what kind of stuff that they're going to put out there. And it seems like the one thing that they've started pushing hot and heavy is more Star Wars Lego stuff.
Yeah, the Lego stuff. The Lego is that's not in my. I'm just not a Star Wars. I like the minifigs. Like if they would just sell bags of minifigs, I would buy them. You know, I like the store, but the sets and stuff. That's not as much me. Only because I just have such limited space anymore. You know, so like Zoe has. I think we have a Slave 1 in here, and then Zoe has the. She did a Chopper one.
Okay.
And then she has the Ghost up in her room. It didn't make it out to California.
Yeah, I have more Legos than I should have. And like with my action figures, most of the Legos that I have aren't built.
Okay.
Like for instance, you know, they came out with the Star Wars helmets.
Yeah.
You know, they're not huge, but they're Lego replicas of the helmets. I think I have like 7 or 8 of those, 7 or 8 different ones still in the box. Still not built.
Yeah, I think we have a Rex. I think there's a Rex here. I think Safi got a Rex, but I think hers is built. I do think hers is built.
I haven't picked up any of the new ones. Like they have a Jango Fett now. They have a, I think it's maybe it's an AT-AT driver or AT-AT, depending on which way you lean. See,
I think that what collectible, if someone said, tell me a collectible you might want to buy, I as much as I like the Black Series helmets, but I would even go for a half-size Black Series helmet for display. Remember how they made the really tiny ones? Like they made like a
yeah, that was a short-lived run. It might have only been like 8 of them.
But if they made like a slightly bigger scale that would make a nice display, then I would go for that. You know, like
well, the size of those Lego helmets is about that.
Yeah.
You know.
There we go. There you go.
Todd will build my Legos.
That's going to be Todd's side job. Ken's Lego builder. You know, well, I find myself getting captivated by the guys building those sets on different social media, and I'm not even a Lego guy, but that seems very relaxing to me. I just wish if I would have had to discover Legos years ago. To like, I see those guys that have whole cities and stuff and walls of Star Wars things. That seems really cool to me. But I think I would have had to discover that before I started filling my house with other stuff.
Maybe. I mean, there's still a chance. You can always make a change.
Yeah, I know. Well, so I was listening to Steel Wars has their year by year where they go through that book.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started listening to it, and they just touched on something that they were talking about the advent of Bendums.
Yeah, it was
Remember
in the 80s.
Bendums? That was in 93.
It was that late?
93 was when the Star Wars Bendums came out.
I would have sworn it was the late 80s, but
no, because what it triggered. That's what I was saying to you before we logged in there, that I had a plan. That was part of my plan. I was like, what was that thing that made me think Star Wars was coming back? Because in the early 90s, we had like the Star Wars role-playing game, and you had stuff like that. But I think the Bendums came in right before that, and right before the wave of Powers of the Force, if I remember correctly. Now I remember seeing Bendums first, and I bought, like on the spot, I bought R2 because he had the third leg. I was like, he'll stand cool with my figures, because I always hated the original R2. I just hated that big round circle, which now it's endearing. But as a kid, I was like, that doesn't really look like R2. And anyway, so the Bendums, and then remember the metal figures that came out? They were like and the bases interlocked.
Yep.
And like poses. There was like Stormtrooper. It was all New Hope stuff. I really enjoyed, and that to me it seemed like it rekindled me going to the toy department looking for Star Wars stuff. And then Power of the Force came out.
See, for me, at the moment that I thought that Star Wars was going to make a big return was when they started doing the was it Shadows of the Empire?
Yeah. Now, when did that come out? That had to come out in.
It was around the same time as Power of the Force.
Yes, but that was like a second run of the Power of the Force. So Power of the Force came out. I'm trying to think. Power of the Force probably came out in 93, 94?
95.
95. Okay. So yeah, Bendums came out before that. Because I think Bendums and that one, because they had that same like color scheme as that. I also see that Anthony got some new Rogue One TK armor.
Yeah, so Shadows of the Empire was 96. Yep, thanks, Anthony. Yep, right on it. Yep.
Yeah. I like this. Yeah, the Shadow of the Empire. I mean, that was, oh man, I remember going to Suncoast Video, and they had the statues. Remember the statues of the of Prince Zizor?
Zizor, yep.
Zizor. And I was driving, I think in 96 or 97, probably 96. I was driving truck for delivering to Bantam Doubleday and all the things. And they had a room they would give the drivers any free stuff they give us. So I had cassette tapes. This is how long ago it was. Books on tape of Shadows of the Empire. And I would listen to them in my truck and stuff.
And for me, it was the multimedia approach that they took during that made me think, oh, this is going to be something. This is going to lead to something, because there was a video game.
Yep.
There were the comic books. I think there were novels, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there was a novel.
And there were toys.
And then Topps hit it off too, with the Topps had like a bunch of bounty hunter stuff. Like you had that one picture of the bounty hunters that was supposed to take place like when they were trying to stop Boba Fett, all those bounty hunters.
Yeah, that's right. So it was for me, that was the thing that said, oh, they're up to something.
Yeah.
Little did we know it was going to be 3 years later with the Phantom Menace.
Well, I think they were just raising money for all that Phantom Menace stuff.
Yeah, from what I understood, they managed to sell a bunch of that stuff. That's for sure.
Well, I think, like I said, that's what got me. I had all but given up in my regular toy store looking for Star Wars figures by then. You know, you'd have to go to like some weird store that, you know, had discounted whatever. But I had done, you know, as a Star Wars fan, you just always, okay, I'm gonna go ahead to the toy store, see what's in there, and then it had pretty much dried up by then.
Yeah, and for me at that time, I was truly just an observer of it. I was in no place, spatially or financially to do much collecting.
Yeah,
I remember if I did read any of the books, it was when I like borrowed them from a library.
Yeah, I didn't have as much money, but I would buy the Power of the Force figures. But when the Shadows of the Empire, I didn't have the money. I had to decide, I'm just buying stuff from the movies I know. You know what I mean? So like I remember waiting for looking for Boba Fett on the peg, or looking for the dual pack Jawas, or, you know, and then they started putting those stupid hologram stickers on them, and I was like, oh crap, now I got to get, you know. But yeah, but yeah, it just reminded me of like when Star Wars just started like creeping. It was never gone for most of us. Like it was always part. Like I was always looking for Star Wars. I was always getting the Dark Horse comics and stuff like that. But when it started, you know, creeping back out, because then, you know, soon we'll be getting T-shirts, or we'll soon, you know, the T-shirts came way later though. I don't think that was till Phantom Menace. I think there was a few released at the special editions, but it was still pretty hard to find a Star Wars T-shirt.
Yeah, and I can't remember ever turning down a chance to watch the movies.
Right.
You know,
right.
so if you're at a friend's house or whatever, it's like, hey, you want to watch a Star Wars movie? I can't think of a single time where it's like, yeah, not today.
No, I'd rather watch whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you throw Gremlins 2 in or something?
Well, see, I missed a lot of those movies that when as of my age, people are like, you haven't seen that? Like I've never seen Goonies through and through. I've never seen a lot of those like 80s and 90s, because if I had the time to watch a movie, it was Star Wars again.
So you don't have to do this. This is just one of the things that Heather and I have added to our list for 2026. While most people are making, you know, New Year's resolutions, we're making lists of things to do. So we've made a list of, we want to visit one new place each month in 2026. So for instance, last weekend we went to Otherworld outside of Philadelphia.
That is really cool, isn't it?
It was a really cool thing. So that was our new thing. The other list that we made is we're making a list of movies that we haven't watched in a long time or at all. So for instance, Heather's never seen Gone with the Wind.
Oh.
You know, so we're gonna watch Gone with the Wind this year at some point.
The first really, really long movie. Like the Marvel movie before it was a Marvel movie.
Well, there's also Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur was really long.
Yeah, Ben-Hur, yeah.
You know, the original Ben-Hur, not the more recent one.
Well, they were also, I think, didn't they when they were switching reels though, went and bought popcorn.
Yeah, because they actually had like a full-on intermission during that time, because the reel transfer was definitely more involved. My
grandmother was a Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz fan, so when VCRs became available, I rented Gone with the Wind for her. Oh, you would have. It was like she didn't even understand. Like I was like, "Look here, you can watch this," and she was flabbergasted by it. You know,
what kind of witchcraft is in this box?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
So, yeah, I have to watch. I want to watch some more westerns that I used to watch, just because of how westerns have affected Star Wars. You know, like and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Of the westerns that you feel influenced Star Wars, which are the ones that you'd put on your list to rewatch?
Well, and I don't know if I like this. I think the spaghetti westerns, and I don't know if they directly influenced George, but I think they were directly influenced by the samurai movies that influenced George.
Well, I mean, let's think about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Spaghetti western. You could go so far as to say that some of Boba Fett's costume is influenced by some of the characters in that, and you could even make the stretch that Cad Bane is.
Lee Van Cleef
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other thing is with at least The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but probably all of Clint Eastwood's spaghetti westerns, that was a lived-in western compared to the previous westerns, compared to a John Wayne western. You know, where John Wayne, the good guy, will wear a white hat and everyone was nice and clean. You know, one punch knocked him down. You got shot but saw no blood. You know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'd definitely want some spaghetti westerns on there, and I just want to watch some more. I got to go back and watch, like, every time. I got to rewatch the Book of Boba Fett again because I love our new intro with that. I forgot how much I love.
Every time I watch that intro, I find another thing that doesn't make because there's a couple shots that were taken that it doesn't end anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think we did cut it up a little bit. We did cut.
I don't know.
I think I got to rewatch.
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate your willingness to take the bullet, but
no, but I did cut some of the longer scenes. I did split them a few places. So
yeah, but there's some in there that
yeah,
a little suspicious. Like, I don't know.
But I think that's part of why that's the simplicity of Star Wars in some ways, because some of the scenes don't make sense and we don't really care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's think about this. First movie comes out in 1977. They're doing all these crazy things in space. No one's really wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Or they're not floating around. You know, so
yeah,
we assume that there's this gravity generator on each ship that holds you into your seat.
Well, and I think that's why I think I enjoy Star Wars more than some science fiction. Because some science fiction, they have to spend so much time explaining the science. I'm like, oh, I don't really want the backstory of how you made that certain engine that's only a, you know, I just let them fly around, push some buttons and let them fly around. I'm fine with that. You know, that's
yeah, the fantasy element of it is definitely more my speed as well.
I mean, I like Star Trek too, but like Star Trek, you can get an entire book on how something works, you know, which is great, but you're really not going to see that in the Star Wars book. You're not going to see how a hyperdrive works.
Imagine Star Trek if it was made during the time of the volume.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you see, I think what's the second series of Star Trek? Was that Next Generation?
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, the way they filmed that, they were able to go back in and render all new special effects because it was layered digitally. So they were able to not do volume type effects, but a lot of the stuff that was done on green screen or had green screen, they could just go back and fix them like you and I would fix something in our home movies. You know, it was so simple. So,
well, by comparison, yes. But imagine like you were like, was it the holodeck or whatever?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Imagine the holodeck, you know, with the volume shoot. Which is what the volume really is anyway. It's like,
yeah, definitely.
You just can't touch it. You can see it.
Yeah. I don't know. So I don't know. That was my history of Star Wars this week. When I was I know it's a roundabout story but Bendham's is what kind of kicked me off just listening to a Star Wars podcast. I have to. I just thought it was a pretty funny. So
that's one of the lines that you don't really hear people, you know, talking too much about. Like they'll talk about Jim Swearingen and the original, you know, early bird marketing push and all that kind of stuff. But I don't ever hear anyone saying, oh, and Bill, you know, Bill Sanders was the guy who designed the R2D2 Bendham, or you know, Chuck Wilcox created the first Chewbacca Bendham.
Yeah, I you know, like I said, and I think the Bendhams came with a Topps card, if I remember correctly. They had
maybe
they came with, you could get single or double packs, and then you could get the big flat one that had a whole bunch of Bendhams, and behind each character was a hand sketched top, not each individual card, but it was a hand drawing of like Chewbacca, and there was a Chewbacca Bendham on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Like that. So, I don't know where my Bendhams went. Yeah, I enjoyed the Bendhams. And then we got the Phantom Menace toys, which is probably before the Clone Wars. Was the Phantom Menace was probably one of the best released set of toys that came out.
Well, it's definitely the I think the best hyped set of toys, in not too distant past.
Yeah. I just you and I have talked multiple times about those like packs of like accessories and stuff like that. Like that just to me showed an extra level of, I know they did it all for money and stuff, but you do have to have an extra level of love to know what to put in the Sith Lord accessory pack.
Of course.
So, and I would imagine and I know you talked to the creators of the toys, but I would imagine other than that first run of toys, once you have a storyline, the toy makers need to know less and can make more. Like if you called a Toy Story and said, "Look, we're making a Han Solo movie and it's going to have stormtroopers in it. Can you make us some stormtrooper stuff?" They can make that without having to know anything about the plot. I mean, it might, but where before, you got, you would have thought the Tusken Raiders were the big bad villains from New Hope, because they were right up there with Darth Vader in the action figure, and you would have like
and Snaggletooth
and
Walrus Man.
No, Hammerhead.
Yeah.
So let's think of the first 12 toys. If you had to, which like two were kind of just they like for some reason they wanted to have 12. So which two did they just like, okay, just do this guy and this guy? Because I always thought the Hammerhead and the Death Star, I think they called them Death Star Troopers or something like that.
Was it Death Star Navy Trooper?
Or whatever. Those two, I'm like, why did you make those? There was so many other, like you didn't make Uncle Owen. You didn't make Grand Moff Tarkin, but you did Death Star.
Well, with that said, I mean, if we go back, when they were making the toys or preparing the toys, the folks from Kenner were going on just a couple pictures.
Yeah.
Because at the time, the movie hadn't even come out. I mean, Jim Swearingen was the first person from Kenner to actually see the movie. He flew out from Ohio to California. And it wasn't even it was before the actual opening of the movie. They were doing a screener kind of thing. What is it when they get people together?
Oh, like a test screening.
Yeah, like a test screening. And the name of the movie for the test screening was Alaska. So so they didn't tell people what they were watching. And he called back from California to the folks at Kenner, said, yes, we have to, really make these toys. But they were just going on a couple pictures that they had been given before the movie came out. So they were really at the mercy of whoever it was from Lucasfilm that gave them these pictures to go on. That's probably also some of the reasons why they picked some of the random ones that they did, because they didn't have all the other ones.
Yeah, well, that's
would you have, based on your viewings of Star Wars, do you think Bo Sheck would have made a better choice than Hammerhead? Or
probably?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's what I didn't understand, where some of it is why you would pick. I mean, like you said, they were probably just, hey, we got to make something that looks cool. They probably were looking at colors. Like, I'm sure there was way more involved, than what you and I know. Like I don't know if like when you make a set of toys, you need a palette of colors. Is that how it works? I don't know.
Well, I think now, yes, but then I don't even think they had that, because I think the original images that they were using were even black and white images.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just
not
like
the color didn't exist in 1976, but
like they pretty much, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they made the Death Star troopers, but they didn't make the Rebel troopers from the first act. So like, you really like, that's what I just wonder how they chose those 12.
Well, I think too with that they were attempting to balance out good versus evil too.
Right.
You didn't want to have too many good guys and not enough bad guys to fight them, and too many bad guys to overpower your good guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, they had non, like who was Hammerhead and even Snaggletooth.
Well, they were, once again, going on just pictures, you have no idea. we'll even fast forward. So do you remember in was it 2005 when the Force Awakens came out?
Oh yeah, no. Force Awakens was
1999. No, that
yeah,
was the prequel.
1999. Yeah.
No, that was the prequels. That was the Phantom Menace. I'm talking the Force Awakens.
Oh no,
Force
Force
Awa-
Awakens was 10 years ago. So
2015.
2015. Yes.
So 10 years ago, Force Awakens came out, and they were also starting to launch the 6-inch Black series. Do you remember Constable Zuvio?
Constable Zuvio. Yeah.
You would have thought, oh my god, this guy's fantastic. He's gonna be awesome.
He's on every peg.
Yeah,
Poor Constable.
I don't even know, quite frankly, if Constable Zuvio made it into the Phantom Menace theater cut.
No, and I don't know. I mean, I know he's in. I think I heard Zoe was saying he's either in a comic book or a new book.
Well, he's referenced in a new book.
Okay, that's
and it's not even a book. It's an Audible original.
Oh, that's what it was.
The Jaws of Jakku or something like that.
Yeah.
And the narrator of the story is talking to you, and you're Constable Zuvio's son. Spoiler warning. So he's mentioned, but he's not a character in the book.
Is it Constable Zuvio? Was Constable his first name, or was that his position?
I think it's his position.
I know. I was just joking. He'd be Constable.
His given name is Connie.
I was going to say. Was it Connie Jr.?
Yeah,
Little Connie. Little Connie.
Constance is his given name.
Yeah.
His friends call him Connie, but those in the community, that's Constable.
Yeah. Yeah. It is weird. It's just weird. It is weird that still happened.
And then think about all the ones, even from the original movie, the original trilogy, really, the characters that we still haven't got toys for.
Yeah. I mean, that is a, and then like the Power of the Force, they brought some new ones in, but then I think that line just became such a laughing point once the Phantom Menace stuff came out. Like then it kind of, it wasn't as appreciated as much as it was for the stuff.
Well, and they also took some artistic liberty with it. They were trying to compete with He-Man.
Yeah.
So they made many of their characters, even Princess Leia, look like she's on steroids. Like she's all, her shoulders are big and bulky, and
R2 had abs.
Yeah, he had a 12-pack, I think it was.
Well, the 3PO was nice in that line.
It was super shiny.
Yeah, the 3PO was nice in that line.
And was that the first time that we got C-3PO with the silver leg?
Yeah. I don't think we ever got a silver leg before. No, because it was always a single paint. Because 3PO's legs didn't bend. Like if they would have given him knee joints, they probably could have easily given him a silver leg. And honestly, I think I didn't even realize C-3PO had a silver leg until I watched my first VHS tape, because all my other copies were like copied off of television, and I never realized he had a silver leg until I remember buying the letterbox set at Suncoast Video and popping into my VCR, and I was like, he has a silver leg. I don't think I ever realized that.
Yeah, it wasn't until, was it The Force Awakens? Oh, my camera went out again. It wasn't until the Force Awakens, or no, it wasn't until Solo that I realized that there were dice hanging in the Millennium Falcon.
Well, the only reason I knew about the dice was because there was a picture of them in the West End games, or the Decipher card game.
Oh, okay.
There was a card called Hans Dice.
Oh, okay.
And it was like I don't know. I just collected the cards for collection, not for playing. The other thing I saw, I know we're talking all over. The other thing I saw this week was that picture that you put up for Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy with the two Boba Fett or the Mandalorian helmets. Is that you guys' helmets, or is that a rendered picture of something?
I'm not sure. I stole it from Todd.
Okay, that is a cool picture of your.
I give Todd all the credit for the creation of that.
Yeah, that caught my eye. I was like, hey, that looks. And wait, because a lot of times you're just doom scrolling. You're looking, but not reading what you're. I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we've
The-
got some fun plans for bounty hunting across the galaxy.
Yeah. Which brings me into building an armor. We didn't even say, did you work on any armor? I know it's been
No.
cold I've
Now
been.
it's been too cold, and I'm still trying to reorganize, do the post-holiday, shuffle, trying to get the Christmas decorations put back into storage and make
See,
room in the living room for projects.
we just have to make it acceptable in this country that you always have a holiday tree up and you just change the decorations. So it goes Christmas and then you put Valentine's and just leave the tree up all year round. That's what you have to do. See, we didn't have with Zoe, we had our Christmas in November because Zoe was home, and then our Christmas, we were taking Christmas decorations down at 8 a.m. on Christmas Day. Not to be Scrooges, we were just like, it's been up for a while. So, well, Todd, I like that picture. I think it made me think of when making armor, the difficulty, the fun when it works and the pain when it doesn't is when you have that perfect helmet and you're like, okay, I'm going to weather this thing. And you have that fine line of like over weathering, because I've seen many stand troopers that were, if they would have stopped like one less coat of whatever they did, then it would have been perfect, because we had a lot of the stormtroopers, the sand troopers. I've seen a bunch that looked like the Power of the Force sand troopers, where they look like they just sprayed them with brown paint and then wiped it off. But
Well, thanks, Sue, for putting that post together for us.
that was a good post. That's a picture I think you guys should recreate.
Yeah, that one, and or the what was that concert where the HR manager was canoodling with the CEO?
What? Oh yeah, that would be funny too. Yeah. Well, I still think you guys in the suits. I mean, I think there needs to be your the suits like whatchamacallit from the statues I made you. That's a given. That would be a good if you guys had a stand, like if you guys had a booth for bounty hunting across the galaxy, have the wooden cutout of the two of you in the suits pointing the pistols, and people could stick their heads in. What's the
Coldplay? That's right, the Coldplay concert.
Oh, okay. But what's the what's the John Travolta movie that's those suits remind me of?
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. There we go.
Yeah.
You need the Pulp Fiction version of you and him, with each having a nice blaster pointing at something. So,
although I think I would sterilize it by we're each holding banana toys.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. Or just pointing your fingers, or microphones.
Microphones. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's a good idea. I like
microphone. That would be a patch.
Yeah.
That would be a patch right there. That's a patch. How
Would
about
you put it on your jacket?
I would. Did we have this discussion last year? Jacket or vest? I think we did last week. I've been looking at jackets now, and now I know I just talked about denim and duster, and now I'm thinking, remember those? I don't know what they're called. It's like a jacket, and it always had like one zipper pocket on it.
Is that the members club jacket?
No, not a members only. It looked almost like a Air Force-ish kind of jacket. It had a little bit of a collar, but it always had just normal pockets, but it always had a pen holder, little zipper pocket that you could put absolutely nothing in it but one pen.
Okay.
The pocket was too small for anything else. But I was thinking that I was just trying to think of what that jacket was called, because it looked like a cross between a denim jacket and a flight jacket.
Well, speaking of flight jackets, what if we did something like an actual like a racing jacket, whether it's a motorcycle racing jacket or a car racing jacket? Some of them have Ferrari across the chest or whatever.
Oh, that would be cool.
But you could get it with just the colors without the logo on it, and then you just fill it with patches.
Yeah. Well, they do have those Kevlar-ish material, like European biker jackets and all that kind of stuff. Aviator jacket, maybe that's what it's called. I did think of a bomber, like a World War II-esque bomber
Yes,
jacket.
that's when you say aviator jacket, that's what I think of, the thick bomber jackets.
But there's those other ones that are like almost like post. They're like if you would think of like Vietnam era guys on an aircraft carrier jacket.
Or like the jacket that Tom Cruise wore.
Similar to that, but not like the leather jacket looking thing, like the olive drab. I don't know. I just have all these patches, and I want to patch the crap out of them. And I don't like. I'm looking at it, it's like, do I just make two patch jackets and just rotate them? You know,
Why not? Because
we
way you can get the patches on something so that they're not resting on a table somewhere or in a drawer.
Yeah.
You could why don't you go crazy and do 3 and make the patches either geographic, so all these patches are from the East Coast, all those patches are from the West Coast. Something along those lines.
Yeah. I have to block somebody. There we go. There. Oh, you can. There. I think I blocked that chat. There we go. Yeah, that's not a bad idea too, because I did think of like, do I do one for trooping? Do I do one? I have this dream of having this really cool patch jacket and getting to wear it to Disney, to Batu in California. Because California seems to be more like members of that than Florida, I think.
Well, I think, yeah, I don't know,
because it's in the city. Like it's not. There's more people that live near Anaheim Disney that go to there too than like people that go. I mean, I'm sure there's still a lot of people that go to Orlando that live near there too. But it seems like every time I've gone, there's been a big group of people. And now I've only been to the California one like 3 times, but every time I've gone, it seems like there's been a large group of people with those jacket type, like 501st members and stuff like that. Like the one time I got a guy handed me a patch. I had my racing shirt on from Corrida. So yeah, I really got to think of the jacket thing, because I still like, what jacket I like is I do like the Luke's jacket from the end of New Hope. That yellowish one.
Oh,
are you? Huh? Oh, there you go.
You froze for a moment.
Yeah, you did too. I don't know. Maybe all this blocking of idiotic people. Here, I think I fixed the chat. So
you're saying Luke's jacket from where?
From New Hope, the end of New Hope.
The celebration one?
Yeah, the celebration one.
They actually came out with a replica of that not too long ago.
Oh God, I saw that, and it wasn't a crazy price, but I just missed it.
Well, it didn't start off crazy priced.
Huh?
It started off reasonably, and then it just exploded from there.
Well, I also thought of Luke's something similar to Luke's Bespin shirt or Dagobah shirt, like that long shirt, like something like that would be lighter. So, because that's what I also with the patch jacket do. I don't want a heavy coat that I can't wear like when it's slightly warm out.
Yeah, you just have to be. I think you have to be careful of the material, because if it's too light, all that stitching to it might weaken it. But what about like a pose jacket?
Oh yeah.
They had some nice jackets in that, or even some of the jackets from Andor. Some of the jackets in Andor were.
Oh yeah, that's probably well. And there are companies that make. But then like I also don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a jacket and then cover it with like, here's your $300 jacket. Now I'm going to try to sew patches on this jacket. So that's
well, I think that celebration jacket from Luke is now $300.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I don't think I would pay $300 for a jacket that I'm gonna sew patches on. Because I also, I like I said, I've just been looking on Amazon and looking at shops, like just to see what they have. Just something cool. So next time you and I go to see Galactic Empire, we'll have a jacket to wear.
Yeah, hopefully people don't mix us up with some competing biker gang, and we get in a ruckus in the parking lot.
Well, I don't think if we go to Mickey, the black box where we went before, I don't think that's biker gang type people. I think that's hipsters and
I don't know.
hipsters and
I don't know. There was some ruffians in the mosh pit.
yeah, but I think they were ruffians in a Jedi kind of ruffian way. But
Maybe.
but yeah, I don't think they didn't have anything outside, like no club colors. Like the biker bar here, we have a biker bar in Quarryville, which is weird, but they still have the old sign, no club colors in the bar. I'm like, really? I'm surprised we even have a bar in Quarryville, let alone we have a biker bar that has a no colors sign.
See, that in and of itself is funny because, like, how do I know what the club colors are? What if I go in wearing some club's colors and not realize that that's what?
Well, no, it's usually your vest. It's you know how you have
gotcha.
like now most of the bikers you see are Sons of Anarchy cosplayers. Like if you're driving behind. But back in the day, like
there's still some still like.
Oh yeah, there's still some real ones, but around here where I live, it's like their vest is perfectly clean, and they're on like a $30,000 Harley. Like when I was a kid, they were on Harleys that were catching fire while they were driving.
Yep.
The pagans lived up the road from me, and they would just dig ruts in their yard. In the summer, you would just see like 7 or 8 of them just laying in the front yard. When I was a kid, with their bikes, they would just be laying there, sitting, talking. Like they just had trenches. They would be laying in the dirt, talking. Like that's how they kept cool. I just the pagan bike because the pagan motorcycle gang. They all rode old Harleys and Indians when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, but now that would be a cool that would be a cool jacket too. The what were the ones that Boba Fett
the swoop bike gang from
yeah.
I don't remember the name, but then there's also Enfys Nest and the Cloud Riders. That would have been
the Cloud Riders too.
Just the name alone is cool.
Yeah, I forgot how cool they were too. Enfys Nests. I did watch Solo over Christmas, and I forgot how cool that was. Especially, I just remember that train robbery. Like that's the best. I mean, that's only the second train robbery in Star Wars, I think.
Well, there was
one in Clone Wars.
Well, there's also the train robbery in the Book of Boba Fett.
Right. But I mean, before Book of Boba Fett hadn't come out yet. Yeah. But I mean, when it came out, it was like the second train robbery.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I remember those too. Yeah.
Yeah. The many of the bikers where I grew up, their bike of choice was the really long front end, the choppers.
Yeah.
Like they were. I mean, I've ridden on a chopper that had the I don't even know what it's called.
The forks. Yeah.
The front forks were no less than 9 feet long. Like,
well, when I was younger, my grandfather and I used to build Volkswagens, and we would sell parts to some of them because some of those real big trikes that had the 2-seaters, they had Volkswagen engines in them. They weren't really a motorcycle; they were a Volkswagen engine back end with
in a 3-wheeler.
Yeah, with a motorcycle bolted on the front. So yeah, that was but yeah, I forgot about now I'm thinking that Book of Boba Fett thing. That is in my top group of scenes is when he flies up on behind him with Slave One.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of the group.
Yeah, that was one of those scenes that was just filmed perfect. Like you knew what was going to happen, but you're like,
yeah, is it really going to happen? Is it really going to happen? And it did.
Well, because I think if I look at that scene and I think of how like some people would have wanted Boba Fett to go like
John Wick
and like individually take them all out, or you know what I mean, or like Bruce Willis in Die Hard, but it just showed like certain people were just beneath Boba Fett in the sense that he's like, yeah, I'm just not going to dignify you guys with
I think Book of Boba Fett as a series was a missed merchandising opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, again, I'll say this till forever, until they can get the figures back to be kids' toys. I think most future Star Wars is going to be missed opportunities for the longevity of the first 12. Like if they want to go back to that where it's generational, like like a dad showing this is my first, stormtrooper, they need to get the toys back in the kids' hands of kids.
Well, they attempted to get some of the toys back in the kids' hands, but didn't go well. We'll look at Young Jedi Adventures as an example. They even came out with a whole different line of those figures, and I don't know if it was an effect of the pandemic and the supply chain issues that were going on at the time or whatever, but those toys didn't sell well in regular stores, and now you just see piles and piles and piles of them in like the odd lots.
Yeah. Oh, you froze on me, Ken. So I don't know which. Yeah. No,
So
that's what the stacks. That's and that's what it's going to be. It's not. I don't know if it's not really a toy issue. It's just how people raise their children too. I set many hours playing with action figures with my kids, but I don't know if that's how parenting is done anymore. I just think people have to, they have to pick and choose, and you have to get the most for your buck, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think the figures, because you can only collect so many, like at a certain point, it just becomes inventory.
Depending on who you are.
Yeah, depending on who you are and we're all limited in our space, no matter how much or how little you have.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
never have enough.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like there's any end to the things. I mean, there's how many different lines of action figures.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like if you have kids, the kids stuff, those first 12, they were so simple. And the things that they made complicated, most of us didn't care for anyway. Like I liked the Luke and the Darth Vader and the Obi-Wan, but it was a pain because they couldn't hold weapons because they had that stupid, lightsaber thing in their
the lightsaber tube.
Yeah, but the simple ones like the stormtroopers and the Boba Fett's and even the C-3PO and R2 that didn't even have weapons, that were just fun to play with. You could shove it in your pocket. You didn't have to worry about losing anything.
Yep.
I think that is the one of the exciting toy, and I just like to see him bring some of that back because some of the toys are just they're so complex. The best line I think I like right now, but I'm trying to avoid buying them, is just because of space, is the ships, the Action Fleet. Is that what they are?
Mission Fleet?
Mission Fleet, yeah. We've said before, because that ghost looks so cool.
And the price of the ghost hasn't changed either. It's still $60.
Yeah. All the other ones you could go get them at clearance places. Like I saw the troop transport from with the stormtroopers. I saw one for $4.99 at a Ross.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was like, I should have bought it, but I'm like, I don't have space. Someone needs to come in and just design me a shelving unit or something. I don't know.
I'd love to figure out how to design one that is it's 3-dimensional. So, let's say it's this bookshelf, you can turn it, and so now you've got a different set, and then you can turn it and you got a different, but the footprint is small.
I need display cases that I don't have to dust, because every time I dust is when I have a purge of I'm selling all this stuff. So
there's a simple fix to that.
Yeah, what's that?
Don't
dust. I've had some of those too. I've had some, I've had a few like, whoa, I better move this. But
yeah, why does this thing look gray? I don't remember it being gray before.
I didn't know my stormtrooper was gray. No, I mean, but Ken, that's an hour in. Before we go, do you have any troops coming up on the calendar?
No official troops on the calendar yet. How about you?
I don't. I just got my password working back with Star Killer, so I've been looking on Karita, Old Line, Delaware, First State, and Star Killer, and I'm going to try to find some. I might be coming up Jersey a couple times, just because my one co-host on the 500 First Cast, 2 of them are from Jersey. So, if there's some troops up there, I just have to.
If you're gonna go, let me know.
I will. I have my armor has all been restrapped. I put all new straps on before I went to the last troop, so my armor is ready to go.
Because one of the things I was thinking about doing for 2026 is, even if I don't troop more, maybe I could handle more.
Yeah.
And either, record video or interviews of folks, or even just practicing my photography, and possibly just spending more time with Star Wars fan talking about Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what all the groups need. They need more members, but they also need more people to take pictures. We've said this before too. Just to it's fun to see myself in costume, but man, I'm lucky if I get one picture of myself. Like when Missy used to handle with me, she'd just take pictures all day. But now when I'm just doing it solo, it's not as exciting. So, for pictures, but well, Ken, where else can people find you before we go? We have 3 people hanging on.
You can see me on the Rambling Star Wars Fan, Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy with Todd and Ken, and every so often on the Bantam Milk Podcast, Around the Dejeric Table. And I know you got a bunch of stuff up your sleeve.
Well, Star Wars Geek Girl, hopefully they'll get off their Christmas break and start recording again for 2026, but I help with that. That's Zoe's podcast. Inflatable Falcon here every Wednesday. We're going to try. I know Ken and I are trying to make this show even better, so we'll do it every Wednesday, come up with some better topics. But
are we still reading next week?
Oh crap, it is next week, isn't it? Yes, we better advertise. We better start advertising. You know what? That's probably on my paper. Let me turn back to page 1. I think that is next week.
I thought we said January 12th.
Yeah. January 12th. Whoa, man. Okay. So that's
is next week January 12th?
That can't be right. What's today?
January 14th.
No, it's January. I just have January, but I think you're right. I think it's next week. So there we go. We got to promote. We'll either promote for next week or the week. Maybe next week is getting ready week.
Okay. So
and then the following week we'll do our reading.
Okay.
That sounds perfect.
So maybe I got the numbers mixed up. Maybe I meant January 21st.
Possibly. It's written down on one of these. I have like 10 pages of notes here from all the different podcasts that I've been messing with. But I know it was mid-January because I remember saying, well, let's not do it this week because it's the week I just come back from break.
Okay.
So next week will be our hype week. So between now, you and I will post up and try to get people. And then the following week we'll do the recording.
And then a few weeks after that, we've got Star Wars Podcast Day.
Yes, Star Wars Podcast Day, which, yeah, you and I will definitely have episodes. 500 First Cast, we're going to have an episode for that. So anyone check out Star Wars Podcast Day. It's really good. I wish someone had a copy. I'm sure it is somewhere of the first Star Wars podcast. That would be a neat thing to post up on the first. Like if they would give us all that to put on our feed.
Well, it'd be interesting if anyone would be willing to do, like, you know how they do rewatches.
Yeah, like re-listens.
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
Well, that's a mission too. How about why don't we do a re-listen?
Okay.
We can discuss it. We won't listen to it live.
Yeah.
We'll do a re-listen, see if we can find it, do a re-listen.
Yeah. And maybe share bits of it because I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, cool. That sounds great. Well, again, another wonderful show. 14th. What's today's date?
The 7th.
Yeah, we probably did say the 14th, but we're going to push it a week because me and Ken had our butts in the sand and didn't realize it. So we're going to try to shoot for we'll do next week will be the hype. We'll do the hype week. And so we're going to reach out. Everyone reach out, get some people.
We got to get our Vader back.
Yeah, because I've just been distracted. I was just distracted by the 501st cast. So I will take 100% of the blame. I mean, I'll record it next week too, but I just don't know if we'll have the people. What do you think, Ken? Let's make a call.
It's hard for me to say because I don't know. You have more of the contacts with the people than I do.
Well, does that for the people listening, anyone that's listening, does it make a difference next week or the following week? That would be the deciding factor. If next week's definite and the following week's not, then we'll just do it next week and go from there. You know what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to make 2 notepads now, one for this show.
Okay.
Okay, so then you want to just shoot for the 14th, Ken?
Yeah, we can do it.
We can do it. We're gonna do it the 14th. Okay. Ken and I will do blitzes on all of our social media starting tomorrow. Okay, January 14th, and we'll start listing up the people we need and see what we can get. So we will do it on the 14th. I think I do remember that conversation now. So there we go. 14th it is. As always, we are doing things that by the seat of our pants that we probably could have planned months in advance. All right.
What's the fun in that?
Right. We just need someone to just call us and say, look, we're going to produce this for you 2 morons so you can stay on track.
Well, we have plenty of people calling us morons. There's no end to that. It's the first part that's the challenge. We're going to produce this for you.
No, so we'll do we'll do next week. So we have, everyone that's listening, please just direct people to us and it's Act 2 of The Empire Striketh Back.
See.
So, all right. Well, that looks like, since Ken said C, it means it's the end of the show, right? Where did I steal that from?
Josh and Chuck.
Yeah. So since Ken said, I think we got to start doing that now that I did it. That just came out of saying I listened to Josh and Chuck way too much.
I love Josh and Chuck. Those are 2 guys I got to meet. I have to meet them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But since you said it, we have to go.
Toodles.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or 2. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy far. The Falcon's ready, let's raise the bar. Hey! Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George